Hey, 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 hey! Hey, good morning, everybody. Life is great. Life is grand. Life is good. Life is beautiful with you in my life. Hey, but on the flip side, let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. The past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stop small, say hello, focus on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Don't touch the stove. It might be hot. My name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay. Thank you for being a client. Thank you to Forex.Today for hosting us. Please go to TradersWay.com and open up an account. Give us a try. We'd like to earn your business and be a loyal and valuable business partner to you over your many years of running your successful Forex trading business. To help you get to that point, I'm here every single day, Monday through Thursday, and every Friday. I'm at FX Street, but you do have to pay money for that one. I'm also Forex Speaker of the Year. And by the way, the voting starts tomorrow for the new awards. I've been nominated for Forex Speaker of the Year again, which is like a huge honor because I don't think you should be allowed to win twice, right? But if I don't know, so you can nominate or you can vote for me a second year in a row. Be the first one to ever be a twofer, which would be like a ridiculous honor. And there's also another one. I was doing an FX Street event. I think it was like a non-farm payrolls, and some guy asked me like a fundamental question, and I start to answer, and then I just kind of throw the answer out, and I go, "All right, let's just do a quick economics course. Let's just go through economics 101. Let's go over supply and demand of the yield curves, and let's move the supply curve to the left, and let's adjust the demand curve, and let's move the equilibrium point." And I just go into this huge like economics class, and that was also nominated for best video or something like that. So number 5 and number 6. So I can send that to you tomorrow. But mostly it's just I think a big thumbs up for us as a team, really. So good morning to Bista from Nepal. Yeah, look, tons of people from all over the world. British Columbia. I know BC, Florida. Richard asks, "Hey, what do I study at Harvard?" Well, I'm getting a graduate degree. I I'm a I only take 2 classes at a time. Sounds pretty easy, right? And they estimate it should take me 40 hours a week. And it's an executive program. So on top of a full-time job, on top of raising children and trying to be a half-decent husband, I also need to study 40 hours a week. I'm like, wait, if you add that up, it doesn't add up. I'm like, wait, that's not enough time. Yeah. So anyway, so right now I'm doing a class on game theory uh, in regards to international relations and war, but it's a strategy probability negotiation type class. The other one's just math. So I'll be done in 2020. Yeah, 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 in 2020. I don't know why I make it think so hard on myself. I'm my own personal whipping boy. Oh, thank you, Daniel. But yeah, 2020 is a long time, man. It's let me tell you, it's a lot of work. And of course, I have to move to Cambridge, Massachusetts each summer, and I have to live in Harvard Yard. So tell your wife and kids you're going to fly to Boston and be there a month. Huh? Tell your spouse and your children. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Daddy's going to go on a little trip. Daddy will be back in a month. Eh, yeah, there you go. Good luck, man. Good luck with that. All right, so where are we? Are we here? We're right here. All right, so let's take a look at this. One of the biggest losers is USD yen. Another big loser, Aussie CAD. Another big loser, Aussie Swissy. Another big loser, Aussie Kiwi. OMG. Aussie yen's a big loser. Aussie dollar neutral. So what have we learned here? Ryan says yen strong. Yeah, yeah, mostly. Aussie is weak. Thank you. So when I say Aussie CAD down, Aussie Swissy down, Aussie Kiwi down, Aussie yen down, Aussie dollar neutral, what that tells me is Aussie is weak and so is US dollar. What, this one? Yeah, just search for it. It's on, everything is just on MT4, guys. You don't even need to go to another website. All this stuff is available right from MT4, right from the platform. What's it called? Heat map gradient scale. Yeah. Yeah, well, the James says he's searched for it, and yeah. So the problem is you go to on your right on your MT4 platform. There's you can download all this stuff, but there may be 10,000 choices. In the infinite wisdom of the programmers, none of it is sortable or searchable. So you simply have to go through all 10,000, finding a needle in a stack of needles. So good luck. Hey, I did it. You'll see, but Wayne, you probably searched through it for hours. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. So let's start with Pissy today. We haven't done Pissy in a while. Looks like we ran the course on this one, huh? Holy smokes, eh? Let me get rid of the updater and let's get rid of that. Check that out, eh? Oh, did we lose it? First of all, that has up, went up, still going up. All right, and then where's the down? You can see the change of direction here. Lower low, lower high. La 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 la. It's coming up. All right. Lower low, lower high, lower low predicts a new lower high, which we did this here. Actually, guys, do you remember doing this now? It's the one. Oh, it's one where I did the up down up down. This is sort of having it roll over. The funny thing is, you can see it's not perfect. It's because I was guessing what price action would be in the future. Do you guys remember doing this now? Hey, what's up, Chuck? Papa Squat, dude. Does anyone remember doing this? I do. I remember doing this. We had this sort of going, and then lower than that, and then the lower high off of the shoulder, and then it would make a low. Cool. And then this is an interesting idea. You could see that this to this is too high, right? Like we shouldn't be pulling this far back if it's that far down. So we'll see. Gap down and then back. Wow, huh? Sucks that it happened on a gap, but when you get a gap like this, what do you assume is going to happen next as far as price action? Hey, is that Ali from the Maldives? Yeah. Good to see you. Fill the gap, right? Just so you guys know, if you ever see a giant gap like that, I want you to think about nature. Nature abhors a vacuum. I was thinking, I have a couple of book ideas. Um, they're all needed. I don't have time. But one of them, I would like to use science and nature and history to prove economic models. Little things like nature abhors a vacuum. I think Gauss did that, didn't he? In like 1200. So anyways, there's a vacuum, nature abhors a vacuum, so nature will immediately fill the vacuum. And if it happens during a trend very often, you fill the vacuum and then you continue, but not always. That's the thing. Not always don't really know. In this case, fills the vacuum and up. Okay. Here's an interesting move here. This creates, well, I guess we'll leave that. It creates a higher high, right? Which gives you the potential for a higher low, right? And here's your support. So you end up calling that basically, it's almost a 1, 2, 3, right? A hammock. You guys staring at the colors? Can you see how the colors could be helpful? A little rainbow, keeping you down, right? Keeping you down. All of a sudden, now what? They're supportive, aren't they? Mhm. So when you start moving here, you draw this to the right as far as possible. Right? And you can see here it comes back. That's a buy. Then you bring this across. Resistance becomes support. That's a buy. Oh, that's where we are now. You'd kind of do the same thing here until it gets too top heavy. Who is Cisco buying? I just saw up there that Cisco's buying somebody, and it just caught my eye, and then it was gone. My first week at working at Cisco Systems, there were only 3 buildings, and they were brand new buildings. We just got our campus built. And I worked in the executive office where all the business people were, not where all the techie guys were. And anyways, I'm sitting there. It's like my first week or second week there, and somebody comes by my cube pulling a little red wagon full of candy. He says, "Hey, I'm John Chambers. I'm the CEO. Would you like a candy?" We're like, "Yeah, John, sounds good." He's like, "Yeah, I've been told you're new here." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty good. It's going great." He's like, "Wow, you got a really good team." And off he went with this little wagon of candy. If you don't know, John Chambers ran the company for like 25 years. I also met the CEO of Apple the day before he was fired. So yeah, hey man, those are two pretty big CEOs, huh? Apple and Cisco, but that's it. So if you're a Silicon Valley guy or a tech person, you'd probably like that. those stories. Yeah, I was the reason, maybe, huh? Yeah, the funny thing about Apple is one of my first meetings there, I'm in the conference room. There's like a pile of junk in the corner of this old conference room. There's no windows or anything. It's an old building. In fact, Apple Computer actually only owns two buildings, or at least at the time. And on the other side of the street was Infinite Loop. This was some old nothing of a building. Apparently, it was the only building they owned. And so later on, I go take a look at this piece of junk. It was just like garbage sitting in the room, in the corner of the room. I mean, literally, there's someone's like Subway cup from their Subway sandwich sitting there. I mean, it just looks like garbage. I go over there, and it looks like a bunch of 2x4s, and it's got some writing, it's got some circuits on it. Like, what the hell is this? Turns out it's Lisa. And we got any computer nerds here? No? No engineers? Yeah, no. It's before Apple. Lisa was the prototype before Macintosh, right? So it was the prototype for the first personal computer in the world, not the little one that Gates had, the little 80.0.1, whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, it was the prototype for the first Apple computer. It was literally made out of plywood. You could still see the pencil notes and drawings and stuff that Wozniak and Jobs had on there, and it was just thrown into the corner. Like, wow, this is actually kind of important. So now it's in a museum, behind bulletproof glass. When I saw it, it was just sitting in the corner like a bunch of garbage. Yeah, Adam, Eve, and Lisa. Yeah, actually sounds like a hell of a party if you ask me. Eve, bring Lisa. All right, so whatever. How do we get onto that? So, okay, off we go. Out to go. HOTTOGO. Euro Aussie up. Once again, confirming Aussie weakness, right? Pound Aussie up. Once again, confirming Aussie weakness. So what created all this Aussie weakness? And of course, I was long this last night, and I'm looking at it. I'm making money. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna move my stop. And then I go to I watch one of my lecture videos, and I'm watching. I'm doing class, and I'm bored. And I look over at the charts, and what the hell happened to Aussie dollar? Yeah, Ollie, we can do that. Yeah, CPI, huh? Does that suck? All right. Dre made money. Well, I was making money, and then I ended up losing money. You ever do that? You were making money, turned your back for 2 seconds, stupid market collapsed. Yeah, that happens. All right, so there's a question on the table here. What's going to happen to gold by the end of the week? Hmm? Well, 4 hours is up. Daily says down. So I'd say up today, down tomorrow, and Friday. Really difficult stuff, huh? What am I looking at to make those judgments? Up today, down tomorrow, and the next day. Yeah, 4-hour oscillators is up. Daily oscillators is down, and they're both right. By the way, you can see I'm missing like all my dollar pairs. I'm just so bummed out, and I don't have time to sit there and read all those charts. Silly. Did anyone else have a problem? Their MetaTrader just won't load profiles anymore. Okay. Yeah, just totally messed up. Such a bummer. Such a bummer, man. No, it's not a multi-screen issue. I just have your regular boring MT4, so I don't have any multi-screen stuff. It's just not loading my profile. And so I took a profile from this platform to the left. Oh, the camera's not working. Hello, camera. There we go. I took a profile from that MT4 and I put it to the one on the right, and it still won't work. I don't want to uninstall and reinstall. I guess I'm going to have to, though, huh? Okay. So, anyways. So, how about down to the orange line and then up? Okay. Let's go into a smaller time frame. How about, if you don't want to do that, using pivot point theory and you're a bull, where do you buy? Shook's getting blue screen. Have you installed like a new indicator or a script more likely? Because that's what it probably is. Hmm. All right, so if you were a bull on gold and you believed it would go up, you would buy at the M2, which is here, okay? And you're going to target this to the north side, okay? If you're a bear, where do you sell? This zone right here. So your trade plan, if you were a bear on gold, would be have it bounce off support, weekly central hourly 21, and drop it like you're a DJ from Tennessee. All right, boom. That's what your trade plan would be for gold. If you're a bull, you want to buy here or wait for the break and buy here. So you're already in. So let me mark it old school style. Okay, you're in down low here, or you end up buying it later on the break, and you're buying it here. So it would look like maybe something like this. Well, okay. But I don't think it takes a rocket surgeon to say, hey, I'm a bull. I'm going to buy a retracement back to 1200. Okay. All right, let's do some news a little bit here. Trump's team finds 50 infrastructure projects. They want to spend 1.37.5. So not even 140 billion. It's nothing. I don't think that would even make a difference. Except Kansas City would get an airport, North Carolina would get a highway, and Dallas Houston would get a high-speed railroad. Right, because people in Texas want to save gas. What you need is a high-speed railroad from Southern California to Northern California. How about that? South Korea GDP 2.3. That's pretty good. Construction investment was way down, but capital investment was way up. Japanese trade balance, 6-month high. Exports to Asia, up 12%. Exports to China specifically, up 12.5%. Exports to the United States, up only 1.3%. Exports to Europe, wah, 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 down 4%. Imports of oil, up. So the Japanese economy seems to be improving, and they're sending most of the stuff to Asia. And the Europeans still haven't woken up. They're still not on the glue train. Australian CPI, it's a 1-year high, but it is a disappointment. 1.5 annual. The trimmed mean is a 5-year low, however. What else could going on in the world? French business confidence. It's the wonderful. Just kind of looking at things. German IFO, that's a big miss. UK industrial trends, pretty good, but again, that's probably all inflated on low currency valuations. Mortgage applications in the United States, way up. Average 30-year mortgage, 4.35. Interest rates are going up, guys. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Amazing. That happens so fast. It's just ridiculous. So that's the world as we see fit to report it. We got the Russian jobs report coming out. Richard just bought gold on my analysis. That's silly, Richard. Please don't ever say that again. I didn't tell you to do that. Yeah, well, just don't ever what you just said. Don't say that. Lock that up. Put it away. Okay. I didn't say anything about that. I don't know about you. I don't know about your family. I don't know about your money situation. I don't know about anything. Yeah. Oh no, no, but you got it. I'm not yelling at you. Just I didn't tell you to do nothing. So if you're a bull, there's a buy zone here and here, and if you're a bear, there's a sell zone here and here. I didn't tell you to do anything. All right. So that's that. On the short term, it should go up, and on the longer term, it should go down. So we've already had the first drop, right, up to the weekly and down. But the 4-hour wants to go up longer, so it seems to me it might go up to 12.10 and then drop. What do you think? So it's really this one over here. That's not going to let me move it. All right, so this one then. No, not that one. Well, I guess we'll do it. So it's more like that. Second one is probably more likely, but this is still a trade setup, so you could do half here and half here. Okay. So again, 4 hours is up today. So I mean, it could even go way up here. I mean, we don't know, right? But 4 hours is up today. Daily says down tomorrow, and the next day and the next day. Okay. And then of course, ultimately, the closer we get to 1,000, the more likely it's going to want to go up. Last time I said that, it went to 1050. I said somewhere between 1,100 and 1,000. Turned out it went exactly between the two. Okay. And that's here. Okay, 1,050. 1,049 and 60 cents. Okay. 382 predicts 1618. Conservative target would be 1382. That's 1030. 1618 is below 1,000. So if you reverse engineer this thing, let's say you think it's only going to go to 1,000 and not breach 1,000. Therefore, you're going to say the target is 1382. And 1382 would tell me we probably will get a 50% or even a 618 Fibonacci retracement. But I already have this marked. So you could even reverse engineer it. And it's if the 4 hour says up, if the 4 hour, where did it go? It's too big. If the 4 hour says up, then maybe this actually goes up till early next week. We're really looking at 1250. That goes up to here, and then it drops from 1250. It drops $250 an ounce. Well, DJ1 asked me about EuroCAD, and again, that's something I prefer not to do because I'm bearish on both. Okay, so it's hard for me to want to look at it, but hang on. But maybe if you posted your trade idea, I could review it and find out what you think. But nothing on my chart is going to make me think one way or the other. And now everyone's got my, wow, I have to yell at the programmer. The overall trend is bearish on the 4 hour chart. If there's one bearish candle on the one hour, so one thing I would suggest on this, Richard, is upload a second chart on a 1 hour. So you might want to say, this looks bearish on a 4 hour. Okay. This looks more bearish on a 4 hour. And then step 2, and then have the hourly. Wait for, let's say, the oscillator to be overbought on the hourly. And then maybe step 3 on a 15-minute chart. Oh, that is hourly, then start higher, right? Because the first thing you say is it's bearish on the 4 hour chart. Good. Well, upload a chart. Right? Just drag and drop, right? So you just upload the 4 hour and say, see? So you'd label it like bearish trend Euro Yen 4 hour. and you say, see, this looks like a bearish trend to me. Therefore, I want to look for the 1 hour to be overbought. And then the second one is, right, euro yen overbought 1H. And then that kind of thing. So it looks fine. It just doesn't tell me much. Like, according to this, you're a bear. All right, great. Um, what's your target? What's your entry? So, right, I can't disagree with you that. I mean, it's funny because I look at this and it looks neutral to me, but it's more at resistance than it is support. Let me get a drawing tool. But I can't disagree with you, right? I'm not going to say no, 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 no. It looks bullish. Well, I'm not going to say that either. But let's dice this up a little bit. All right. Let's see what we know. Right? Just the facts, ma'am. Okay. This area seems to be supportive. Okay. And there's resistant junk in here. So is that bullish? No. Is it bearish? Well, it can be. It's really neutral. Okay. And so if you had a bearish opportunity, your first shot would be to bring it down to here. There's nothing here to guarantee that it's going to continue down. Okay. But because there is support here, right? So if this went out down here, then sure, you could take it. And you're talking about this being a top and this being a top and that being a trend, which is fine. But once again, and I admit this, I don't like horizontal. I don't like diagonal trend lines. Okay. I don't like doing like, oh, because this is here and this is here, it has to go down. Well, you would have assumed that here. Oops, come on, try to. You would have assumed that here. You would not have assumed this, right? If you had played it, you're supposed to be down here. So I'm not a big diagonal guy anyways. So the way I mark up my charts is different. I do it like this, and then I'll do it like this, and then I'll do it like this. And I'm a big horizontal guy. Okay. So that's how I'd mark up mine. Okay. And really, so I'd say this is range bound. And so on a smaller time frame, right? If I saw the 15-minute rolling over like this, I would take a shot and the target would be there. If you see more behind this being a bear, like on a daily or a 4 hour, you should indicate it first. And then if you're putting a trade plan, I'd like to see the 15-minute entry strategy. An oscillator could be going up, and you could say, well, when this oscillator is going up, I want to see it above the 80 mark, and when it gets to like this, I'll be interested kicking it off of resistance. Richard says, I quite like trend lines, which is totally fair. I just won't be able to give you very qualified feedback on it because you're probably better on those trend lines than me. Because I found over 13 or 14 or 15 years of observation, they're so subjective that they work past tense really well, but they don't work in forward tense consistently. So they're great if you're backfilling and it fits your theory, right? You're like, oh well, this is this and that is that, and great, but even using apexes and stuff, I don't, me personally, I just don't find them consistent enough for me to care to use them. All right, so lots of things on the site not working. Wow, I'm gonna have to yell at the programmer. This looks sideways to me. Um, And what would I like to see? For me to be convinced of the downtrend, I would ask you to post a 4H or D, 1D, 1D chart. Also, if we are at an area of resistance and as a bear you are ready to short, I would ask you to post a 15 min chart that discusses your potential entry strategy. Thank, thank you. Okay. Yep. So once again, I'm hoping if you guys are serious about improving your trading that you're posting one trade plan per day and leaving at least 2 or 3 comments per day. Really don't know how you plan on improving if you're not doing such things. Pound Kiwi. All right. Yeah, big gap here, huh? You can see Marina's using lots of horizontal. Not a lot of discussion here. I posted these trades on Monday and pound Kiwi hit target today. Good. Pound CAD still trade valid. I've seen and I've been selling it down to support levels and then buying on dips at support, making money trading the bull and bear. Ooh, as a bull and bear. Once it breaks above the top, the shooting star in the 1 hour, I will only buy. So what is, guess I need to look at the other trades. It would have been nice if she'd linked me to those other ones. Pound Kiwi hit target today. Pound Kiwi target would see. I'd love to see more detail on grats on or successful trade. Boom. Shorting the Aussie for today. Yeah. All right. Well, it's a little dangerous when it's after the fact, so we'll see. I'm a bear on the pound because of Brexit complications. Great. And also that the Australian dollar is stronger than the pound currently. Well, this was posted just recently, and Aussie is way weak. So I'm going to have to mention that. Okay, let's take a look. Support here. Yeah. Resistance there. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. Yeah, yeah. I would look at this, and this doesn't say ready, but when this rolls over, it'd be interesting. So this tells me on a daily, it could fall, but on a daily, it could be middle of next week, right? So going into the smaller time frame, once again, this is well done. Nice post, by the way. Okay. So how do you do this? Yes, okay. So now you look at this and you see that we are at resistance. This is a whole fib area too, if you measure that top to bottom. Okay. Resistance there. Pivot point theory would predict that we'd be on our way back to central, so I'm good with that. And along the way, you got to get short, right? So ideally, the entry is in here, and your stop is here. You're not risking a whole lot. But it's something you can be in for a week, right? According to the first chart. Okay. This is dangerous though, by the way. If this does fail, if this monthly trade plan fails, okay, then what you have is a double bottom. May not be a perfect double bottom, but it starts doing stuff like this. You're in trouble. Just want to point that out. Pound Aussie 1 hour. So what is this daily? Yeah, same thing. So now you got a daily weekly cluster. It's already overbought. Yeah, I'm good with that. That looks fine as long as you're at resistance. And you got the 4 hour. Yep, that seems quite nice. Posted in the wrong area. Thank you, Jim. Nice comment. Very well constructed trade plan. Thank you for the different time frames. If this plan does fail, it could indicate a big up move. Odds are you will be fine. Please post in trading ideas, not Forex books category. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention that too. Uh, Forgot to mention odd is the weakest currency on the planet today based on the poor CPI shown in Asia. There. Nice. See, I think you could spend a half an hour doing this every day, and I think it would be a positive mantra for you. Daniel's on the Kiwi. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to that too. Trying to survive that. I was long two yesterday, and only one I'm only in one still. But I think this is what your trade plan was, wasn't it? Right? Up, down, long. Up, down, right, long. Or is it this one? Up, down, long. Either. It's all the same, right? Today, pullback is good opportunity to buy low. Down into the daily. Beautiful, huh? Right? So that puts the whole buy zone together, doesn't it? Four-hour, 15-minute. Yeah, lovely. Daily. Yeah, lovely. Wonderful post, Daniel. Love it. Yeah, look at that, huh? Well, this here, what you're looking at now, this part of the trade plan on the 4-hour, that's actually what my trade plan was. I right, I bought just above the weekly central on Sunday. My stop was in here, just below the M2. And the whole idea on Sunday was somewhere around here I want to be long, and my target is somewhere up here, right? And I think I had one here and one here, and then I think this one is I took profit on this, and I'm still here for the other. Cool. So we're doing the exact same thing, but of course I've mentored Daniel, so I guess that's good. I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I do from time to time, Jack, but I'm super expensive. All right. Oh, let's go back. Let's go back. Back in the saddle again. So Trump's going to build himself an oil pipeline. How's that going to impact oil? More oil can't be that good for oil. In your book, Wayne, is there a part that explain? Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Kareem. Without a doubt, there is. So it covers the SMART plan, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Actually, in this case, it's speed, momentum, right? So on and so forth. Announcements, range, trend, pivots, right? Pivots. The P in SMART plan is pivots. So yes, they must be covered. Well, yeah, it's in P. So SMART P. So it should be in there. But I'm just going from memory. I wrote it. No, it was published 8 years ago, so I wrote it 9 years ago. So what can I say? I'm just going from memory. All right. Yeah. So, anyways, not up, not up, as far as I am on oil. CAD. We already had this one, lower low, lower high, drop it. It didn't make a 50%, it only made a 382. So once again, you see this? This is me predicting. I didn't quite get it right. You can see I had it coming back to here. But here was the top. It did a 382, not a 50%, not a 618. And then I have it dropping down here, which is actually not too bad, right? Because the actual sell zone, you know me, this is the sell zone. Whether it's 382 or 618, it's really irrelevant. And the target is in here, which I think was pretty accurate. Okay, look where it double bottomed, the 2618. How funny, huh? Roll reversal, amazing. So CAD, yeah, don't know what to do about CAD. I don't expect oil to go up or down, but if it went somewhere, it would be down. So if this went anywhere, it's sort of up. But we're in that weird time of the year for the dollar. It got too strong too fast. Okay. It'll get stronger when we get closer to a Fed meeting. People are strange when you're a stranger. People look ugly when you're alone. So I don't know. This just nowheresville, really. Question is, on the longer time frame, are we doing this? Well, this would indicate oil up. So maybe an improving economy and stuff. But remember what we learned out of Japan today? Asia's doing okay. The United States is doing okay. Europe is choking on its blood. We learned that, right? In the numbers. The numbers showed us. Orders in Asia up more than 10%. I think it was close to 12%. Orders to China up. Orders to the United States up. Orders to Asia or to Europe down. What? Everyone is buying more, significantly more, and the Europeans are buying significantly less. Yeah. Well, there you go, socialist big dogs. Right? What makes a person wake up in the morning and say, I think we should all be equally poor? That will fix things. So now I'm giving you my political point of view, and I apologize for that, but I admit the capitalist pig dogs have not been running the show properly. And what you should do, and I wrote a paper about this, is you should have a system that is capitalist based. It will create an elite upper class, but let me just tell you, some people need to be in the elite upper class. Some people work harder, some people are naturally smarter, just like some people are just naturally faster. I don't know. Doesn't mean they're kings of the world and rule and should have everything. That's where things went wrong. Just because you're a banker doesn't mean you should make a quadrillion billion dollars and then there's no money for anybody else, right? I mean, that doesn't work either. But there should be a social redistribution in the sense that, yes, there will be, it's not fair. Someone some people have better education. They'll have two parents at home instead of one. That's a big difference because if there's only one parent, that parent has to work. If that person has to work, then they're not home mentoring their children and spending time with them and making sure they're doing homework, or going to robotics camp and then going to Science Olympiad camp and then going to Boy Scouts or Brownies and then going to the weekend thing and then going to the museum and then I mean, you need two parents. So families with two parents and more education and a little more money, those kids end up getting a better education, and that will prove that they will more likely make more money later in life, so on and so forth, right? I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, socialism, and that's been proven in multiple countries around the world and in multiple economies around the world, just simply makes everybody poor. And by the way, even the socialist big dogs in the Soviet Union, those leaders that got it, represented the workers, hey, they went on vacation in Switzerland and drank champagne and sat in the hot tubs and enjoyed the beach chalets and stuff, and then went back to the Soviet Union, right? They're no better, in fact, worse, right? So here's what I say though. So you create a system that is entrepreneurial based. That's what my paper was. Entrepreneurial based. You put the power in the small business. Okay, that's what mine was. And what you do is, those that are lucky enough to do extremely well, some of that does get redistributed to the bottom, but not in the form of welfare, but in the form of opportunity. And if you look at Uber, for example, if you don't have a lot of skills, become an Uber driver. Nothing wrong with that. You're independent and you can make money and you can work as much as you want. But we need an economy like that, where whether it's a one-man show or whatnot, just whatever. But everyone should have an opportunity. Yeah. Oh, but not for long. Blah 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 blah. Right? Yeah, but with automated cars and stuff. But there's always going to be something. If you create an entrepreneurial society, things happen. I'm telling you. There's always a way to improve. I walk down the street, everything sucks. I walk through the store, everything sucks. It should be done way better. Every restaurant I go to, this place sucks. I hate it here. This needs to be done better. And if you go to all this effort and time and money to build this restaurant, why isn't this done better? And why do they have that there? I walk through Target. This whole store should go away. Sucks. You know, this world needs more entrepreneurialism. Not that it should go away, that there should be something 10 times better. I walked through Target. It hasn't changed in 15 years. It's the same clothes. Everything's on the same spot on the shelves. I'm like, oh my God, it's the same store from 15 years ago. Can't believe it. It's got to go. Yeah, Sears, go. Kmart, gone. Get rid of it all. I could just use less of that. So anyways, how do we get there? How do we get there? Well, how about this? How about this? The ultimate opportunity for an entrepreneur is Forex trading. I don't care what part of the world you're on, right? I sat down with a leader of a foreign government a month ago, who, it's a small country, stuck in the middle of the Caribbean, not a lot of opportunity for young people. They get education and go somewhere. I said, but you know what? You could sit right here at this desk, right in this spot. You could trade gold in Hong Kong. You could do Brent crude oil out of the UK. You could trade the U.S. stock market. You could do wheat and soybeans and coffee and trade the euro and buy dollars and dump the pound. all from this spot right here. And if you had a young person that got an education, you could keep them on the island and they have access to the entire world, and all that money comes here. Doesn't have to go away. You don't have to sell crappy t-shirts to drunk tourists. There's more to life than that. These are the things I say. Anyways, which one? Which one, Jeff? Let's yeah, and then let's find a different one. Neutral, neutral, pound Aussie. You know, pound Aussie was one I liked 5 years ago. It was fantastic. The one you were doing. What? Yeah, I'm on doing. Yeah, you're doing it now. Yeah. So, anyways, you have the greatest opportunity in front of you right now as an entrepreneur. Okay. If you live in a place like India, they don't allow it. You're like, what? Why not? Yeah, Vancouver Island's nice. So I got this one if you want to see that. So it's not going well. I'm up, what is it? 45. I'm up hardly anything. I'm basically break even on it. It's just one of those days, man. It's just one of those days. And yesterday I was up quite a bit, and then it all collapsed on the CPI data, and I couldn't get to it fast enough because I was in the middle of class. So, yeah, the one I had, oh, that was well, I had several of those. The one I had a standard lot on. I was long Kiwi yen, and I 1.5 standard lots, and I took the profit on the standard. I think I was long Aussie yen, and right before I went into class last night, I moved my stop to like minus 25 pips, I think, and I think I was up about 25 pips, and then I blinked and got knocked out. I lost, like it dropped 50 pips as soon as that disappointing CPI came out, and I think so. I ended up losing 250 bucks on that, but I mean, just nothing's really right. Nothing's really going on that. Well, Jeff, I'm not over leveraged, so I don't give two hoots about any of my trades. Yeah, it is very quiet. So I'm through my busy season. You guys knew that, right? I mean, I told you months and months and months. You make all your money, or the vast majority of your money, from August to December. Then there's a counter trend trade. Then there's a little pop and drop, and then around the Fed meetings. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in July and it's dead. And August is dead. But I worked my butt off in July and August, right? So now we're just kind of waiting for the next Fed meeting and stuff like that. I've been very clear that the part that's been difficult is to discern whether the yen strength I predicted months in advance is over. And I can tell you that that often happens, and I have told you, it can often happen as early as the third week in January, which was last week. I don't, and I told you I felt that it was a little early, that I was hoping it would have lasted a couple more weeks before it was over. But that's what this whole discussion was, right? And it doesn't look incredibly, I mean, I don't know, it looks like it may be over, right? So I was long yen yesterday, and then I was short. I shorted my yens just after not all of them. I took a couple of shorts. I did that right after the Aussie news. And again, they're small, like risking 25 and 50 pips, so like they're almost nothing, right? But I'm really trying to get a handle on whether it's over this yen strength I predicted. Okay, it may be over. But here's the problem. I'm not predicting this goes up and up fast and furiously either. So I think what could happen, if I may be so bold, is I think it does this. It could even go up higher, you know. In fact, I don't think it'll be that dramatic. I think it'd just be, right? So we may have to go back to shooting at rabbits for a while and then get ready for the yen repatriation trade. But that's like 8 weeks away, right? So um, I think what I told you is, okay, you get this, and then around the third week of February, but or January, but often I'd like it to wait later. But then you get one of these, and then March and April goes like this, okay, and then May and June goes around the June Fed meeting, and then after June it's like this. Can't fit it anymore. Okay, so December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. That's really in my brain what I'm preparing for. Yeah, up to 48. Yeah, I mean yeah, that's fine. But I'm not thinking 58. Okay. Okay. So for example, I did that FX Street interview in here. Okay. In here, I said the yens would get strong till the third week in January. I said it could be more, but I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. So here we are, right? And then all of a sudden, what? Right? And it's happening right at the place that you would expect it to happen, right? And I was a little hopeful. I was hoping that it would come down more, but that's that. I mean, that could be it. It could just be over. I mean, that's that. So up and then down and then up and then down and then, that's what I'm thinking is very likely. You just get a giant wedgie. Okay. Bounce trade plans off of each other. That's the whole point of Forex.Today. Well, Nick, I've given my ideas based on U.S. taxation and businesses in my interview at FX Street, and I did a 1 hour interview. I talked about it being the the fundamental analysis of financial flows and not economic data. Okay. I was speaking to a professional trader, I think it was last week, and he felt it was central banking, that the central bankers do it. Now, Hojo, why don't you just watch the interview? I mean, I already have talked about it for 4 or 5 hours of my life. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's over. Um, but if you want to hear it now, go to FX Street. Watch the interview. It's a 1 hour interview, right? Yeah. No, it's not a repatriate trade. No, no, that's what I'm talking about. You guys are mixing your stuff up. That doesn't happen till March. It's not a repatriation trade. No. Yeah, that one in March is repaid. Yeah. And that has to do with fiscal year end for Japanese businesses. Yeah. Yeah. But to me that's minor. That's the minor one. But, it can have an impact. But anyways. So I've overstayed my welcome here. I've run out of time. You guys like my new haircut? It's all right. So yeah, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And let's get together tomorrow, huh? Yeah. Thank you very, very much for being on my team and being here every day. Yeah. This is my favorite time of the day. So thank you for all you do, man. You're important to me.